All right, here we're going to continue learning about how to find the area of composite figures. Again, composite figures are just shapes that are put together. So we want to kind of undo that and break it into simple shapes, find the area of those, then put it back together for a total area. So the key thing is that we're looking at what shapes we know. I can see a rectangle there and a triangle here. And then we use the formula sheet to find the area of each of those. A triangle is 1/2 base times height. So the area for this triangle is going to be 1/2 of this times the height of the triangle is 6. So I don't really know the base yet, but I can find that out. In that rectangle, I know that rectangles opposite sides are the same. So from here to there, I know that if this is 10, that's also 10. Now, if this section from here to there is 3, and the entire thing is 10, this part by itself is 3. The rest of that has to get us up to 10. That has to be 7. Really, we're just getting that from 10 minus 3. So the area of the triangle is 1/2 of 7 times 6, which is 21. The area of the rectangle is a little bit easier. That's just length times width, which here is 4. I put those back together for a total area of 61 centimeters squared. And the next one I see, I have a rectangle, and then a triangle, and then another triangle. And actually in this one I made that so sloppy that I'm going to draw these outside of there. I'm going to draw my little blue triangle over here. If this is 6, then that's also 6, so I have a height of 6 and a base of 1. In my green one, I have a height of 3, and again, opposite sides and rectangles are the same, so if this is 8, that's also 8. And my rectangle, I'm given lengths of 6 and 8. So find the area of each of those separately, and then put them back together. Using 1/2 base times height for this green triangle, you get 12. 1/2 base times height for the blue triangle, you get 3. And length times width for the rectangle, you get 48, which is a total of 63 centimeters squared. All right, and number 3, I have 2 rectangles put together. You can split this either way. If you want to split it like this, use that as one rectangle. This is your second one, you could. Or if you want to use it like this, where you split it into this one long rectangle, and this one off to the side. Either of those 2 ways should work, as long as you can find the length and width of your rectangle. So the green one's a little bit easier here, because I have a length and width already written on there. That's going to be 30. It's 3 times 10. The blue one, I actually don't have my length and width yet. I have one of them. I know that I have 6 here. Let's call that length. But I don't really know what the width is yet. So I have to find that. And I'm going to find that using this 10. So this whole thing is 10, which means that this and this together are also 10. This side goes up to there. This length of 6 goes the rest of the way to get us up to 10. So that width has to be 4. I'm really finding this from 10 minus 6. 10 minus 6 leaves me with just that 4. So now I have my length and width of that rectangle, which is 24, giving me a total area of 54 meters squared. On this E shape, I basically just have a bunch of rectangles. I have this one long rectangle here, and then 3 rectangles coming out of that block. So I colored the top one and bottom one the same because they are the same. So these little marks, that is telling me that those have the same measurements. So if I see that I have this mark on that 14, and then I have that mark again there, that means that's also 14. And this is also 14. I also know that this is 50. So I really have my length and width for each of these pieces. I'm going to do length times width for this. Length times width there is 700. Length times width here is the exact same thing, another 700. And then length and width here would give me 350. So I'm just multiplying length times width for each of those, and I'm going to do the same thing one more time. 12 times 70 is 840. Then you put all of those together, and you get 2,590 centimeters squared. All right, so here I have a triangle and a half circle coming out of that triangle. Triangle there with a half circle coming out. I like redrawing half circles just to make sure I know what the radius and diameter is. So I'm going to redraw that half circle. 7 miles is going all the way across there. For area of a circle, I'm going to use pi r squared. I'm using pi times the radius squared. The radius is not 7 here. It's half of 7, or 3.5. Then I'm going to take that and divide it by 2. So after I do that, I only have a half of the circle. So whatever I get from this, I'm going to take that number and divide it by 2. So that ends up giving me 19.23. Then I'm going to find the area of that red triangle using 1/2 base times height. That's my base, that's my height. Well, really it's the opposite, but it actually doesn't matter. 1/2 of 5 times 5 is 12.4. Then you just put those two areas together for a total of 31.73 miles squared. On the next one, I have a rectangle and another half circle. Again, I'm going to redraw that just so I'm clear on where the radius is and where the diameter is. 30 is going all the way across. 30 is there, so it's going all the way across that circle. That's the diameter. That means the radius equals 15. I'm going to use pi times the radius squared. Just like before, I only have half of a circle. So I'm going to take that, whatever I get from that, and I'm going to divide it by 2. So we're going to do 15 squared times pi divided by 2. That gives me 353.25. Plus whatever the area of that red rectangle is. So I'm going to do 30 times 12, that's length times width. That is 720. Sorry, that's not 720. That's 360. Sorry, so 353.25 and 360. Sorry about that. That should be 360 for the area of the rectangle. And then I can put those two together for a total of 713.25. And we're talking about meters squared because we're talking about area. Right here I have what looks like a quarter of a circle. And then another quarter of a circle. If I imagine those put together, that put together is a half of a circle with a radius of 7. Here, the radius is given to us. That's actually only going halfway across that circle. We're only given half of the circle. So if you imagine the full circle there, it would continue on the bottom of that. That would be the diameter. The 7 is just going halfway across, so 7 is just the radius. And then I have this rectangle in the middle. I'm going to do that real quick. 7 times 8 is 56. Now I just have this half circle left. I'm going to do pi r squared, pi times 7 squared, or pi times 49, which gives me 153.86. One of the most common parts of this is just leaving it like that, because you feel like you did enough work already, but it's only half of a circle, so you have to cut that in half. So you're going to do that divided by 2, or times 1/2. Those are really the same thing. And I'm going to divide that by 2, and that gives me 76.93, plus the 56 from the rectangle. That's a total of 132.93 centimeters squared. All right, the last one I am not going to go over in this video, but if you can solve that on your own and show me that you're putting in the work by yourself, not just taking an answer from a classmate, I will give you a piece of candy for that.